Hello, Marvel fans. We're the Hills Maniacs, and today we're going to be giving our thoughts and review on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 1, and kind of predicting what we think is going to happen in future episodes as well. So let's get into it. So, first of all, what did you like about the show, if you liked anything about it?
Well, that's kind of a vague question. I like that they started off with some action sequence. There were kind of like 2 or 3 action sequences, but anyway, they were still really good. The Falcon intro type of thing, he was going through this whole sequence near Libya. I think they might have been in Egypt, or no?
I forget where
Libya's near Egypt.
Were.
But I'm not sure. They might have been on the left or the right side of Egypt, or on Libya. But anyway, they're near the Libya border, and if the bad guys cross the border, then they would like escape because they're not allowed in that area. I guess like the U.S. government
like
or something.
Falcon's not allowed in there because of jurisdictional issues.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
So they were trying to save this guy that got captured from LAF, which we don't know what that is yet.
Laugh.
Yeah, laugh. But there's definitely not anything to laugh about.
No, there's not.
But it might be like it might have something to do with like the Libya government or something. But I mean, it might be some like bad guy that we still have to figure out. But anyway, Falcon is trying to save this guy, and he goes through a little bit hardships. Like he has a bunch of helicopters shooting at him and everything, and the whole dodge sequence, and he has this little bird. What's the name?
Oh shoot, Red Wing.
Yeah, Red Wing. He's
Red Wing.
taking down the helicopters and stuff behind him, and all the while he's just trying to get this guy, and he ended up getting him in the end, which was really, really great because it just showed like he can pull through even without that.
Yeah, and he was.
Stuff.
It was him by himself the whole time too. That's what I liked.
Yeah.
That was like probably the only action in the whole episode, but I kind of enjoyed it because it was just fun to see Falcon sort of almost like being Tony Stark, sort of like his tech.
Yeah.
He's shooting missiles and stuff everywhere, but he's got his wings. I think it was probably made by. I'm guessing his equipment would have been made by Stark Tech, because everything in the MCU is made by Stark.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You know. But one thing I really liked about the episode as a whole is that it showed like how Sam Wilson, Falcon, and then Bucky, the Winter Soldier, hence the name of the show, how they're dealing with like the aftermath of the blip.
Yeah.
So like the things they're doing, I think it's like 6 months or so after, maybe less than that. After the events of Endgame, which puts it after WandaVision, chronologically, and probably before Spider-Man Far From Home, I think.
I think so.
But I like how Sam is struggling with whether or not he should be the one to take up the mantle of Captain America. Like I think we have, it's either, I'm guessing Captain America is dead by this point because they sort of have this like ceremony where he's given the shield to like a museum for an exhibit or something, like a Captain America exhibit that we've seen in the past. We saw it has like the display and stuff all about Steve Rogers.
I think that was where he stole the shield in the first place, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got his old suit back in Winter Soldier, I think, like after he was on the run
it was that same spot, I think. Anyway,
I think it said Smithsonian on there was like a window or something, so it might have been the Smithsonian, I think, but.
It wasn't DC.
So he's struggling with that, and also some stuff at home with his sister. Like she doesn't have enough money, I guess, to keep their family's like boat that they have. So he wants to help her with that, but like the banks aren't allowing him to get a loan or anything because he doesn't have money from the last 5 years, which is not fair at all. He doesn't have enough
income, and he was gone.
Which is not fair at all because he was dusted away like a billion other people were, and they won't let him have the loan, so they can't. So he's kind of dealing with all that stuff too, and then of course you get Bucky on the other side of things. Is like basically trying to become a normal member of society.
Mhm.
He's going to therapy and trying to make amends for the past and trying to forget about his past as the Winter Soldier, but he keeps having all these nightmares about like things he's done as the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
So that's kind of all we see of Bucky throughout this whole thing, and he's like friends with this one guy whose son apparently he killed, but he doesn't want to tell him
there was a nightmare
guy.
sequence.
Yeah.
That was like kind of the second action part. He just like ripped through a wall and started attacking these guys, and he
very
was
vivid dream.
Yeah, he was showing his skill in that way, but like as the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And he ended up like he shot this guy who was an innocent bystander, which ended up being this guy's son, and he ended up like figuring out like he was guessing that it was his son, but he saw the memorial like in the guy's home. Was that like near the end of the episode?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like he remembered that he was the one that actually killed him. The guy doesn't know that, but Bucky obviously remember. He said in Civil War, he even told Tony Stark, he's like, I remember all of them. He remembers everyone he killed. He just couldn't do anything about it at the time, so now he's trying to like make amends for it. Unfortunately, like in this episode though, like Falcon and Winter Soldier didn't really come together at all. I guess they're saving that for maybe the next episode or whatever. Like we said, there wasn't a lot of action, but I did like how grounded it was, where it kind of showed us how they're dealing with losing Captain America. In as much as like WandaVision was her dealing with losing Vision and everything else, now this is them losing Captain America.
Yeah, it's just kind of, it's like, this episode was more of an exposition, setting up the characters, locations that they're in, and stuff like that. So I hope the next episode picks up more with the action, and maybe even getting them teaming up.
A couple questions I had after watching the episode. First of all, there was this group of bad guys that was introduced, known as the Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
We only saw them really like one time. They only actually physically pop up one time in this episode. I guess they were robbing a bank or something. But Sam is kind of tasked with tracking them down, sort of, I guess. Or he was told about them, and he said, I'll keep an eye on it or whatever. But
yeah, and there was the guy that he rescued was kind of searching in on it online, I guess. But then he ended up getting he got his feet on the ground and started going physically, and he got beat up pretty bad.
And I guess apparently the Flag Smashers believe that the world was better off during the blip, when like everything was in chaos and all that stuff. So obviously they believe in like anarchy and all this other stuff. But what was weird was during this like fight, during this bank robbery thing, we see at least one of them has some kind of superpower, or not superpowers necessarily, but like super strength.
Yeah, exactly.
So that left me wondering, is that like a man-made one, kind of like the super soldier serum? Or did he get powers from, like, coming back from the blip, kind of like Monica Rambeau did in WandaVision?
No, because I think they were there. I think they were there during, like, after the blip. That whole.
Like
that's how the faction. That's how the faction set up. Then. So I don't think any of them got their powers from blipping.
He definitely had some kind of powers, because it wasn't just like he was throwing people or knocking people out and he was just really strong. He was legit like.
Yeah, he was hucking people
and them and they'd go flying.
Yeah, he kicked the guy into a post really hard and stuff like that.
Something's going on there though.
But whenever Falcon saw the guy video recorded it, and whenever Falcon saw it, he was going through something, like he was thinking, and he was probably thinking that it was like a bad super soldier, just like
maybe like
Captain
Winter
America
Soldier
was there, and in Winter Soldier, didn't they?
There were other.
Or Civil War, we learned
that
there were a bunch
soldiers.
of them. So they might encounter another super soldier that's bad, and then that might be what brings Bucky and Falcon together.
True.
But I'm not sure.
Another thing basically about that is like, who are they? Are they working alone, or did somebody hire them? Like, I'm thinking maybe it's because we've seen in the previews and like the trailers and stuff that Zemo who was the villain from Civil War, essentially.
Yeah.
is coming back in this series. I don't know if he escapes prison or something else happened. Like when he would have escaped prison, maybe during the blip or whatever. But I don't know if maybe he is sort of leading this group to cause all this chaos and stuff. Maybe to draw out some of the Avengers that are here, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, so he can continue his plan to, show the world that we don't need the Avengers and stuff like that. Or they're working with somebody else. Maybe even the government, like Secretary Ross, could be involved in this. But I guess we'll have to see.
Well, I think there's two things that you could think of. Either Zemo's in charge of that group, or since we know Zemo's going to be in it, either he's in charge of the group, or he knows something about that group, or some other group that gives them intel. But I don't know if he's giving intel, is he technically, is he still the bad guy, or is he just trying to get out of prison?
Maybe it's some kind of deal, like, you let me out of prison and I'll tell you everything I know about the Flag Smashers or something. But then it's going to be one of those things where it's like the awkward tension between like Bucky and Falcon and whether or not they should listen to Zemo and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like one of those kind of things. Like you'd see in like cop shows and stuff. Like, should we trust this criminal who we're interviewing and things like that. Yeah. Another interesting thing about that, though, was when Falcon was talking to the guy after he saw the footage, the guy asked him, "Do you think he's A?" And Falcon said, "No, I don't." And we don't ever hear what he was going to imply. So I'm wondering if that's something that's going to come. Like, is he like you said? Is he a super soldier,
or is he just the villain in general?
Do you think he's maybe a Winter Soldier, or could he even be something like maybe this is where they're introducing mutants into the MCU, and this is the first.
True.
We're starting to see that maybe too. Like maybe he was going to ask, "Do you think he's a mutant?" Because maybe this is after WandaVision. We don't know when Doctor Strange 2 necessarily will take place. That could be something to do with that as well, like how they're introducing the mutants and everything else.
Yeah, and if they introduce mutants, that would really that would like open our eyes that like they've been here the whole time, and I think that's what they're trying to go for. I don't know if they're trying to bring them from the multiverse, or if they might just introduce them as they've always been here. They just wanted to be in hiding, and this might be their way of doing it if they introduce that.
I don't know if this is the show necessarily to introduce the mutants in just yet. I feel like it'd be too soon, honestly. Like maybe they want to build it up more, but that's just a theory. Like that could be what this person is, or like you said, just another super soldier or whatever, which adds to the tension even further.
Yeah, exactly.
But
because it seems like anything with Winter Soldier in it seems to be just it's super soldiers, yay!
I mean, but they do have to have something that would bring Falcon and Winter Soldier together. So I guess fighting off some the Flag Smashers and some other Winter Soldiers would definitely do that, and especially if they're led by Zemo, you know. And then at the end of the episode, we see that basically the government has appointed someone new to take up the mantle of Captain America. This new guy dressed all up in the Captain America garb. He's got the shield from the museum that Sam put there in the very beginning of the episode. Like, he gave it to the museum, and now this guy has it.
Yep.
And Sam's watching this, and he's very irked about it.
Yeah.
So, who do you think this person... I mean, we didn't get his name.
I either think he's going to be another Mandalorian from Iron Man 3. Not Mandalorian. What am I talking about?
Mandalorian?
Oh, what am I talking about?
The Mandarin?
Yeah, the Mandarin. That's his name. Another Mandarin from Iron Man 3, as in he's just like this... he's just this comical guy that isn't really anything.
He probably is. He seems like he's a puny dude.
Yeah.
Or at least he knows some fighting skills, but like not to the extent of Captain America.
And I don't think he's a super soldier. Like, I really don't.
No, he's definitely not. I think he's just some normal guy. Because they even said, like, Sam was watching this on TV on the news, and they even said, We need like we need someone new to inspire us. We need a new symbol for this country, not just the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to present to you the new Captain America, and then it's this guy, and then it cuts off with Sam sort of being angry about this, or kind of like what's going on here. You know,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The episode cut off.
And either he's just a joke, or he could be secretly a villain.
He could be one of the Flag Smashers. Too.
Yeah, he could be in that group and just somehow slithered his way into the U.S. government, I guess.
True.
To be.
Or he was always
fake Captain America.
He was always part of the You know, it's like one of those rogue cop type things. Or what if it's something like he's one of the Flag Smashers, but he also pretends to be Captain America, so that it looks like he's taking down the Flag Smashers.
But he's actually just like
he's
telling them to stop, to not fight him or something.
Like he's fighting them off so that the media will draw attention to this. Like, oh, he's fighting off he is our Captain America and stuff like that, so that they'll pay attention to him because they don't want Falcon or like someone like Bucky or Sam to be Captain America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is their new. It's kind of like what Hayward did in WandaVision. He wanted a superhero that he could control, so he recreated Vision out of it, like to be controlled by him. So it's kind of like that, except not an AI. It's just a person that the government can send somewhere to you go do this and get publicity and everything else. So it could be that as well. Like that he's playing both sides, sort of.
I have a quick question. Do you think that Hydra is going to be in this series? Because
I don't know. I mean, they've been associated with everything else with Captain America.
Yeah, there's I kind of have a third thing for what this guy could be. This guy could be part of Hydra.
He could be.
And like whenever they took out Hydra in Winter Soldier, maybe he was still just
he
like
went into hiding or
sitting
something,
around. But then again, when Bucky was making amends, he knew that person that like he made amends with or whatever.
Yeah, because he was tracking down some people that he knew were former members of Hydra or whatever that are still around.
Like he knew that lady was Hydra, so like
that's true.
I don't know if that guy would be on his list to make amends with, no. But he could be part of Hydra, well, secretly, like do another secret invasion of Hydra on on the U.S. government now and not just S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
That would be huge.
Yeah, I mean that's true. They infiltrated it, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, how is Sam and Bucky gonna deal with this? Like, because one of them is probably, I assume by the end of this series, one of them will be known as Captain America. Or maybe not. I mean, maybe we don't need a new Captain America. Maybe that's what the point of this show is like, let it go, kind of, like, let the, let his memory, not fade away, but, like, we don't need someone to replace him. Like, you'll never replace Tony Stark, You'll never replace Vision. Well, I guess technically they did. But you know what I mean. Like, it's about his legacy, so I feel like maybe by the end of this, they don't need... Neither of them needs to be Captain. I know in the comics they did become Captain America, like both of them, but I mean, maybe they'll even share it at the end. Who knows? Like, they'll both be Captain America. Like, I need Captain America's help, and then they both fly in. Which one? Something. I don't know.
But I just remembered something. Like, during the speech that Falcon had when he gave the shield away, he said, "We need something new. Like, we need a new hero.
We need a new symbol."
Yeah, we need a new symbol. Not take back an old one with a new person in it. Like, that contradicts what he just said at that speech, which is probably why he's so angry about it. Because he said we need something new.
Yeah. They basically took what he said and, like, we still need a symbol, but it's going to be the same symbol.
Yeah.
Different. It'll look different, a little bit. Nobody will know this isn't Steve Rogers.
This guy will have bigger ears than Steve Rogers.
He could be a Skrull, too, but I don't think they need to keep bringing them into the... They brought one into WandaVision. So by
I
the
mean,
end of this
if they keep doing that, I mean, there
it's
could
gonna
be
get ridiculous.
I mean, set up like a huge secret war.
Well, I mean, they do have the show Secret Wars coming to Disney Plus at some point.
They might just have a bunch of homages to those.
It says, here's every scroll we've ever seen.
In post-credit scenes, they just have a bunch of...
What do you think is going to happen in, like, the next episode? Like...
I think they're going to, they might bring Bucky and Falcon together, in some way. Might be because of the Flag Smashers. Might be because, well, maybe somebody from the Flag Smashers is somebody that Bucky needs to make amends with. And then Sam's also has to fight the Flag Smashers, but this person that needs to be made amends with, I don't even know if I said that right, but, the person that he needs to go see to make amends with, is going to be a troublemaker or something that, Sam and Bucky will have to fight together for. Or, one of the... If Zemo's coming in, I mean, one of the amends might be Zemo with Bucky.
I think he was... I didn't really get a good look at the list. His name might have been on... You can probably assume if he's still alive, he's probably on Bucky's list.
But there's probably that one page probably isn't the whole entire list.
Yeah,
I bet there's like 15 pages on there because he killed a lot of people.
There's no way all of... I mean, they did expose everybody like at the end of Winter Soldier, I think, when Black Widow sent out the... There was those files and stuff on who was Hydra and like everything else. So I don't know if... That doesn't necessarily mean they were all killed or captured or whatever, so they could have been in hiding.
Yeah, they could still be in hiding.
I think probably they're going to do something where, since Sam's trying to help his sister get money and stuff, I think he's going to take up... He did mention that he had some government contracts already, but I think he's going to start doing things... He's going to go to them, like, I need money, like, I'll take whatever you can give me or something, and then they'll put him in different... situations or something, like for money, but he'll have to go on all these adventures and missions and things like that, and maybe that's where he runs into Bucky or whatever.
Yeah, that
something like that.
That could certainly happen. Like his missions to get money or like to get like grants from the government would be like with Bucky or something. Maybe I could see that.
Maybe they're even prolonging this. Maybe we won't even get Falcon and Winter Soldier together until the last episode. Like maybe they stay on their separate paths, and then by the end,
that would be horrible.
They come. I know.
Well,
it was like Hayward and Wanda. The separate paths, separate agendas. They came together at the end of the series.
I guess, but
it interfered with each other.
If you think about it, though, if you watch like trailers and stuff, there's a lot of them talking together. So it's probably going to be.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, more than half of the episodes are gonna be with.
It's
them.
all the last episode. Just them. They're just talking together in some room somewhere. But let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Did you enjoy the first episode? Stay tuned. Next week we'll be reviewing the second episode and every episode after that, and then we'll get into Loki and everything else. We like doing these reviews of all these Marvel Disney Plus shows. WandaVision was really fun. If you enjoyed that series as well, go check out all our reviews of those. They're on our channel as well, and there's a whole playlist about it, so go check those out. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.
Subscribe.